one more quick comment. I'm interested that you brought up the idea of schizophrenia, because when you were talking earlier about when you showed that graph about psychopathology, I also was thinking about psychotic states.
Yep.
And it's one of my particular interests, and how we can understand that through the transpersonal lens as being a spiritual emergency.
Yep.
And
Yep.
through talking about consciousness, I mean, it was just really interesting. The whole topic is so huge. But I wondered if that was something that you were interested in as well.
Oh, yes. I think some psychotic, you've got to be careful here. We use terms like psychotic states, etc. But in fact, there's an enormous variety of states and processes. Some psychotic states may be just apparently what they appear to be, disordered processes, etc. But some, in fact, are, as you say, almost like spiritual emergencies, and they emerge from a sort of uncontrolled and aberrant interactions between these deeper states of consciousness and our normal waking consciousness. And if you look at some of the literature and some of the experience, for example, we know these things are possible. In mediumship, there's this thing called sitting for development, where you basically sort of just open your mind and just try to sort of sense. Now, you are actually doing things to your brain when that does occur, and you are allowing these sort of interactions to take place. And it's a matter of whether you've got a degree of control or not, etc. One of the things that I talk about in other lectures is the brain as a filter. It's both an antenna and a filter, but the filter part is very important, because the filter part filters out things so that you can, in fact, cope with and deal with the world as you find it. And in some cases, becoming more sensitive to these deeper states means reducing the strength of the filter. And I mentioned that in my previous talk. And Berkson and James talk about the brain as a filter, but it's both a filter and an antenna. You need both. And if that filter mechanism breaks down and things sort of become uncontrolled, interacting, then you can get some of the psychotic states, and some of them have, in fact, as I said, elements of these alternate states of consciousness, which are real as well. So I think this is really important, and this is, I think, an area where some of the research into parapsychology in these deeper states, I think, will have a very big impact in psychiatry, because I think many of these states, have elements of these, as you say, spiritual emergency. A very important area.
Thank you so much.